What's up, weebs? I know it's been a while, but as you guys can see from the thumbnail, I have descended to ultimate degeneracy. I bought another freaking body pillow. And yes, it is Kirino from Lukrembo, which is the best anime. When she's also the best girl for any show ever. Hands down, best show. I don't know if I can show this side, but here it is. I guess I'll just show her face and like block out the rest. Here's the other side, which is like super cute in her uniform. Oh, God, I love her so much, bro. I love this show so much. Actually, though, funny enough, I actually don't have a figure of Kirino in her uniform. I have her in like everything else imaginable. And if Lil Uzi can have a body pillow of Rem, which he posted on his Instagram, there's no shame in buying body pillows anymore. There's no shame. There's no shame in it. So go ahead and buy your waifus, your husbandos. Everyone deserves a body pillow. Lil Uzivert has a body pillow. Lil Uzi. Lil freaking Uzi. 21 minutes Lil Uzi. EXO Tour Life Lil Uzi has a body pillow. Everyone can have a body pillow. But enough of the body pillow. I'm here to show you guys some figures that I bought recently. And I just gotta say, these two figures that I bought are absolutely insane. Top-notch quality. One of the best. I honestly think they're both in my Grail figures now, along with like Matoy right there. That's small Matoy right there. I think they're one of my Grails. First one is actually my first ever like huge bunny scale. It's not by Freeing though. It's also not a 1/4 scale. It's a 1/5 scale of Kirino from... Well, her ear just fell off. But anyway, yeah, it's a 1/5 scale of Kirino in a red bunny suit by Fox. And it fell off again. Okay, as you guys can see, like with her bunny ear falling off twice in a row. That's one of my biggest complaints about this figure, is that this ear, it's just this one doesn't really go in. Like, it's not tight. It's kind of just sitting on it. It's like, it can fall off anytime. This one's in firmly though. This one isn't, for the weirdest freaking reason. I don't know why. I'm not sure if it's like a FOTS problem, or like, it's just this, or I just got like a special case where it doesn't really like sit in, which sucks. Because like every time I touch her or move her, this thing falls off, which is like the most annoying thing ever. So annoying. This is so annoying. I wish it would just stay in. I'm so tempted to like glue it in, like use super glue and just shove it in there so it doesn't move forever, but then that's really gonna ruin the quality. And another thing just fell off. It's the table. Oh yeah, this thing also doesn't really stick to the base, so it can kind of like move around too, which I also don't like. They could have like used some pegs to keep it in place, but it just sits there like that. It just balances and keeps it in place from Kirino's hand, from the pressure. But yeah, so if I super glue this, I think it would just ruin like the quality of the figure, which would obviously suck, which is why I haven't done it yet, and which is why I don't think I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna have to balance it and just not move her. Oh, and also another thing that I don't quite like about this figure is the color of her hair. It's very orange, but Kirino's like a blonde. She doesn't really have orange hair, but this is on the side of... This is more on the side of an orange tone than a yellow tone. That's why I kind of don't like it. And it's kind of just like one big orange thing. There's kind of like no shading or coloring. Well, aside from like this part where it's kind of darker here. But I wish it was like blonde, because Kirino is blonde. I mean, it looks fine. It just doesn't look great. That's what I'm saying. Could have been better. Could have been more accurate as well. But speaking of accurate, her face, like her face is perfect. Her face is perfect. Like, her face is absolutely perfect. I swear to God, it can't get any better than this. But yeah, it could have just been a 1/5 scale, so it's bigger. That's why it's easier to sculpt to make it more accurate. But the blushing, I know that blushing is just like lines with like a pink tone over it, but it looks so good with this. But her fang, bro, her fang looks so good and it looks so accurate. I love it. And her eyes, they kind of just look like sticker. It kind of just looks like it's a sticker placed on there, but it still looks fine because it's kind of glossy and sparkly. Like if you look into her eyes, it's like you're looking into a real person's eyes, where it's kind of like reflecting it back to you. Don't know if I'm a simp and I just really like Kirino's face, but I think this face is pretty damn good. Oh, and the sculpt for the figure overall is actually pretty good because you can actually see her like fingernails and her like the lines here in the fingers. You can really see. Again, don't know if it's just like a bigger scale. That's why it's like easier to add more details to it and you can like notice it more. But it looks great. Only caveat for like the fingers is like it's all the same color. Kind of like no shading on it. Basically like what my problem has been with this figure is that the sculpting is really great, but the coloring for some parts isn't top tier. But her bunny suit, the bunny suit is colored immaculately. It is heavenly, biblical. The way the glossiness of her leather red bunny suit is, it's so shiny. It looks so good. The contrast with that between the matte ties, perfect. As well as the glossy shoes. It's kind of like the same glossiness as the suit and the headband. Only weird thing about this figure is her collar and her tie and the cuffs, because like the collar and the cuffs are kind of like made from the same material. It's kind of weird because it's kind of like a little translucent, but not really. So it's kind of like this milky white. You know, like, no, it's not milky white. It's like, you know when it's like, you know when you eat cereal, that after you eat it, there's still some milk. It's kind of how it looks to me. It's kind of weird. Also the tie, it's like a different red from like the bunny suit and the shoes and all the other red stuff. I think they did it to like contrast it a little bit, but it ended up not working for me. So my main complaint about this figure is really coloring. Everything else is really good. I don't mind the clear base as well because it's like a 1/5 scale and it has this thing, so it's kind of like an accessory that takes it away from the base. It's just nice to see like not a black circular base. This is clear, so that's still different in a way, right? But overall, this figure is godly. I really love it. It's my first like big scale ever, and if you're wondering why there's like a huge hole here in the middle of my shelf, that's because that's where this goes, and also the other figure that I'm about to show you guys. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I actually got this figure for a steal as well over in Mind the Rocket. I got it for like around 25,000 yen, which is, I don't know, like $220 now. The yen thing's kind of like confusing me now because it just used to be like 2,500. Because it used to just be like 2,500 and it's like $250, which was easier to convert. Now it's not. I mean, it's good because the prices are getting cheaper. But I'm pretty sure they're going to jack up the prices for newer figures to balance it out, which is going to suck. But anyway, let's move on to the next figure. And the next figure is also another Kirino figure from the true ending. Let me know what you guys think below about how the show ended the last 4 episodes. I absolutely cried my eyes out. It was like the perfect ending ever. 10 out of 10. I guess this kind of spoils that, so I'm sorry if you haven't seen the show. But yeah, I'm sorry you guys have been spoiled about the show. Here it is. Kirino in her wedding dress, climbing up the aisle. Climbing up the stage. I don't really know what it's called, but she's going up the stairs in a red carpet in her wedding gown, looking hella fine. So this is actually like a 1/7 scale by Max Factory. I don't know if it's just because we just saw the 1/5 scale, but this 1/7 scale isn't really looking that big to me. It kind of looks like a 1/8. Now I finally have a 1/7 Kirino scale, because most of my like Kirinos, I think 2 of them are 1/8 scales. Then I have a 1/6 scale, and now I have a 1/7 and a 1/5. But anyway, this figure absolutely has the best base in all of my figures like ever. It's the only one that's like had so much effort put into it, but so fire, bro. Like this is actually velvet. It's so fun to touch. It's so smooth and soft. It feels so good. Kind of wish the material was better for her wedding gown because it's kind of like hard and stuff. But what did I expect? It's a freaking figure. It's not gonna be soft. It's not a doll. What am I expecting? But the sculpt on this, absolutely insane. Like the details and everything, like her gloves, I don't know what it's called, if it's gloves or not, but the white thing people wear when they get married, it looks so perfect, and the creases on there, on the folds and stuff, looks immaculate. Coloring of the flowers, it's so good. It's like this pink, yellow, purple, and they all like mesh in super well together. The way the gown is like, is it a gown or a dress? I don't know what the difference is, but the way the gown is, the sculpt on it and all the folds and everything, it looks perfect. And there's kind of like two materials. One is like this super solid color where it's like creamy off-white, and there's the other one that's like opaque-ish, little like milky white. It looks super good together because like the contrast with it's kind of like showing like different parts of the gown, and like there's different layers to it, and it really shows it well because it's different like material and different coloring on it. Looks so good. And the bottom of her gown, it's not just like smooth like that. It kind of has like stuff like that, like ridges. It's so well done. And her face, bro, I haven't even talked about her face yet. And her hair here is so much better than the 1/5 scale. It's so much better. The color, this is what I'm saying the color should be like. This little bit orange, but purely yellow. It's like, this is what Kirino's blonde is. Not like this yellow, like a darker yellow. Has like a, you know what I'm talking about. It's like in the rest of my other Kirinos, it's like this. This is how it should be. Her eyes look amazing. Again, the blush, it's like lines and a circle that's pink, and it's kind of like opacity's down a little bit. I mean, that's the way it is in the show, so I can't believe that translated well into a figure. I can't believe it really looked, oh, it looks great. Her nose, it's like pointy, it's so fire. Her smile looks great. She really looks like she's getting married. She even has like the necklace and the pearls. It looks like she's getting married. The details on the necklace and the pearl, it's insane. You know how some necklaces are where it's like there's like small lines that you can't really see if you look closely? That's how it is in this figure. It's not just like it's like a metal string. Kind of like the small like coiled up metal together. They're like super small that you really have to look closely to see it. That's how it is. Figure, there's even railings, bro. There's even railings so she doesn't fall down. This is legit one of my favorite figures of all time. I'm so glad I bought it. I don't really have any complaints about this figure, which is like new to me because I'm kind of like picky with figures. Probably this is the best one in my collection. This is the best figure in my collection, hands down. Easily, it's got to be this. Nothing gets better than this Kirino. I love it to death. I'm so glad that I have it now. Oh, and I got it for a steal too. I only got it for like $180. What a steal. What a freaking steal. If you're a fan of this show or a fan of Kirino or even just a fan of good figures, I would definitely recommend picking this up. Buy it. Yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Appreciate you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, do consider giving it a thumbs up and maybe even subscribing to the channel. It really helps a ton. But yeah, peace with your bros. Deuces. Oh, when I made a TikTok that I'm gonna be uploading too soon. I hope none of you see this, because I made a freaking TikTok that's kind of embarrassing for me. Okay, bye.